back to the Ashes debrief. It's the end of day 4. I'm pleased to say I've got Guha and Glenn McGrath alongside me. England finished the day 302 for 8. They lead by 119. How do you see the day's play, Ish?
Well, like we've seen throughout this series, anytime there hasn't been expectation on England, that's when they generally kind of do well. And they picked up those 3 wickets pretty cheaply this morning, which is great. They got batting. They had a great afternoon session. Jacob Bethell looked like a class apart to anyone else that was batting out there, and got themselves into a decent lead. But once again, when they were ahead, that's when they opened the door back again for Beau Webster to come into it with a spin. And so I think Australia have the advantage.
We've got so many things we need to unpick on this 10-minute show that we've got. We've got to pack it all in. First and foremost, Jacob Bethell, 142 not out. Just how special was that today, Glenn?
Yeah, well, it was, and I thought the way he played, he just went about his business, coming in the first over basically again. No, he looks like he got a good technique, good temperament. He doesn't go out there and try to blaze boundaries. He times it, he pushes it into gaps. Listening to him speak this afternoon, I thought it was really good just to hear how he goes about it. But no, he looked good. He missed it a few, but didn't seem to worry him. And he's got shots all around the wicket. So, I thought he looked good. A lot of people are saying, where is he? Why is he not been there earlier? But maybe if he was in there earlier, they would have changed the game, Bazball and everything that was happening. I think he's come in at the right time, and he's just shown that he's up for it, and he's done great.
He looks so composed and confident out there, like he's been doing this for years. And it's so fascinating that he's not scored the first class century before today to do it here at the SCG.
He played red ball cricket, that's why.
But for him to be able to kind of settle in as he did, it was hard for attritional Test cricket. But honestly, the way he got the rhythm and the flow of his innings, I just spoke to him then and he said, the wicket wasn't troubling him at all. Which I don't know what wicket he was looking at, but when we were watching, there was definitely something in it. There was a bit of seam, there was a bit of extra bounce at times, but he just handled it all perfectly. So he looks like he's made for Test cricket. And yes, people always say, oh, why wasn't he there at the start? It could have unfolded very differently with Mitch Starc, completely fresh Mitch Starc at Perth, where it's extra bounce, extra pace. He's obviously got the opportunity now and he's taking it, and he's got a great chance for England tomorrow.
He's been picked on talent, not on performances behind him. He's just proven the selectors, the head coach, the captain, absolutely right today, hasn't he, Glenn?
Yeah, I think he has. The way he went about it was the key, didn't he? He had 2 superstars to watch previously in Joe Root and Steve Smith, the way they went about compiling their hundreds, maybe watched them and thought, that's the way I play. I don't need to blaze. I don't need to do this. Just play my own game. He's got a great temperament and good technique, and that's all you need. And don't overthink. You just watch the ball. So, I think he's done exceptionally well.
On the flip side, are we surprised to be coming back on day 5 of this Sydney Test match?
Well, I have to do the post-match presentation, and I received the script for it, I think, just after lunch. Firstly in the morning session, and then I received a revised script halfway through that afternoon session when those 2 quick wickets fell, because it felt like it was going to happen quickly again. So, I am very surprised it's gone to day 5, but the pitch has actually held together pretty well, hasn't it? We thought it would be a lot more up and down bounce. We've seen it here at the SCG. When that sun bakes down, it can be really tricky for batting, but actually it's been held together better than we thought it would.
Yeah, Steve Smith spoke to him the other day. He said that the wicket held together better than what they expected. Earlier games had broken up and turned a lot more. So I think the wicket itself is good. Once you get in, sure, there's going to be the odd tricky ball, but once you get through that new ball, it's we've seen what they can do. 3 good hundreds. Travis Head has been exceptional, but you look at Root, Smith, and now Bethell. That's the way you play Test cricket on these wickets.
We're saying the pitch isn't turning. There's one person that was getting turned out of this surface. He bowled his first over of seam. He came back and bowled spin. Beau Webster, 3 for 51. Brook, Jackson, Stokes. He actually bowled really nicely. We'll talk about the Jacks dismissal afterwards. But how much of a luxury is it to have somebody that can do everything? He got also 71 red.
Sir Garfield Sobers, he did everything. Look, it is a luxury. Obviously got a 50 as well with the bat in a fabulous partnership with Steve Smith. And then, I don't think he imagined he would be the leading spin wicket taker here on day 4, but he's got the opportunity, opened the door with Harry Brook. And that was a beautiful delivery for that to pitch, and then the amount of rag he got on the ball. I think the next one was gifted to him. Clearly there was a plan. There was a plan for Will Jacks to come up the order and maybe just go on the attack. Didn't work. It was an epic fail. And then
can't have been the plan, surely.
Well,
surely Stokes is injured. Jacks has looked amazing with his technique. He's looked solid. I think he's just had a brain fade, surely.
Okay, well, yeah, potentially, because it really did feel that way. And then obviously the third wicket, Ben Stokes, his groin was restricting him. It was a shorter ball, but an unbelievable catch from Steve Smith.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, Jacks, he just wasn't near the pitch of the ball and went through with the shot. If you're out there to play, okay, I'm going to get to the pitch of the ball, even if you come out and hit it then. But it was a horrible shot, and the way he got out, it just goes with a few other dismissals this series for other batsmen. So unfortunately for him, it looks shocking. And someone in the stand let him know that as well.
Did they? I think I actually said on air, I've seen some stupidity in this Ashes series, and that was right up there. So it was a bit cutthroat from me. Were you expecting that from Beau Webster, Glenn, when he comes into the attack? It's not been turning all that much. We saw a little bit from Bethell, but then he gets 3 quick wickets and puts Australia back in the lead again. Yeah,
saw a little bit of turn there from Bethell, as you said yesterday. So thought, I wonder if they regret not taking a spinner in there. And Beau Webster can jack of all trades. So I want to see him do a bit of keeping at some stage as well.
He's far too tall for that. Is he not your height?
No, he's taller than me.
Is he?
So him and Cameron Green are like 6'7" plus. So you got a guy there, and that ball he got Harry Brook out with that really turned out of the foot marks there, and I thought the right decision was made. That was just thudding into the stumps. So a guy that tall, you would have thought he got more bounce. But he did well. Yeah.
Is it going to be the death of a specialist spinner if you can have an all-rounder like Webster, like Bethell in a side?
I can't imagine what Nathan Lyon and Todd Murphy are feeling right now watching on, because it is conducive for turn and spin, and you've got part-timers bowling on this wicket who are extracting wickets. So potentially yes. I think teams want to pack their sides of batting as well, just to offer those extra runs. Beau Webster obviously did that. Will Jacks has done that. It could be, in this very test match, it could be the death of a specialist spinner.
But it's funny, isn't it? You always thought T20 cricket was going to be the death of the spinner and Test cricket would hold. So I don't think it will. I think there'll be still, you have to go to India and play. And you need to take proper
I'm talking about in
spinners there.
Australia.
That is very true. Who'd have thought Test cricket would kill a spinner? Wouldn't be me. Ben Stokes getting injured, it was inevitable, wasn't it? Yeah. The way that he's pushed himself to get through 5 test matches, how much he bowled yesterday, it was screaming injury, wasn't it?
I agree with you in the sense that I'm actually surprised he lasted this long with the amount of overs he's put in, the donkey overs that he's bowled. Every time they've needed a wicket, he's had to come on. There was that time in Adelaide, game was on the line and he didn't bowl for the first 60 overs. He'd had to bat for as long as he had. So, and we know with Ben Stokes, the intensity that he provides, it's literally 120% everything he does. Every single ball he bowls, everything he does in the field as captain, but also with the bat. And you imagine it's the same in the nets as well. So I actually saw him bowling with a new ball on day 1 or 2 in the morning. And then he didn't take the new ball, Glenn. I don't understand what's happening there, but look, a big blow, but he's done incredibly well to make it this far, I think.
When you look at somebody like Stokes, how much do England miss him when he's even off the field? And Harry Brook takes over the captaincy.
Well, it's interesting. Harry Brook, I think, you wonder who's going to be the next captain. It's got to be Harry Brook, doesn't it? So, I thought he did okay. I think when you've got someone of Ben Stokes' calibre in the team, sometimes other players will just let him do his business. When he's off, all of a sudden the young guys step up and he's had a massive workload. Yeah, there's a lot of talk whether tactically it's been his best test series. I thought, he probably should have taken the new ball with Josh Tongue, but he sticks with Cars, he sticks with Potts. Tongue, I thought, bowled exceptionally well, and at times been unlucky not to get that new ball. So, yeah, we can sit down and take this series apart, and things strategically, I think they could have done things better.
I love this rooftop, by the way, and you can tell that the Barmy Army haven't been here because the cups and the cans are still like floating around, and then they pick up their stuff and put it in the bin.
Yeah.
They do. Just finally, I want to talk about all the drop catches that we've seen from England in this series as a whole. England don't have a fielding coach here. Is it proof in the pudding that you need a fielding coach on tour?
I'm actually surprised they don't have one, because Brendan McCullum comes from New Zealand, and I would watch them. This is a bit sad, but I would, whenever the New Zealand men's cricket team, and women's, to be fair, but the men's cricket team were around, I would always watch them training and watch them field, because I just found it fascinating, the intensity that they possess in the field. So look, it is a bit strange that they don't have a fielding coach out here, not least because in a pink ball test, that's where it really hurt them up at the Gabba, to be able to take that pink ball under lights. I know that requires the opportunity to play it and train under lights, which I don't think they had much of, maybe 2 or 3 days. But when you've got a big crowd behind you as well in these big stadiums, Glenn, there is a massive difference, and you know all about it, like how you have to train to be able to take those catches, especially in the outfield.
No, exactly right. And I look at the Australian team before we had all these specialist coaches, the extra work that our slippers and we did so much more catching. It was an actual session of catching every time you went out there. Ricky Ponting would take time to throw at the stumps every time. So, it's not about batting and bowling only. And, you look, even the era that I played in, we beat a lot of teams because we never dropped a catch, and they did. We created the same amount of opportunities, but we never dropped a catch. And if you do that, you're not going to lose many games.
It's not always about skill, though, as well. We have seen some spectacular catches from the England team. I think it's about concentration and kind of recognising, the amazing Australian team that Glenn played in, that they were really good at sensing a moment. And so, the test days are really, really long. It's going to drift sometimes. It's going to be a partnership that forms. But then as soon as you open that door, everyone is right on it because they're waiting for that catch to come. And I just think Australia are just better at recognising those moments, but then also the concentration of having to be out there for long periods of time. And then it sometimes becomes contagious, doesn't it? That's basically what happened at the Gabba.
Right, we're going to finish up on the Ask Me Anything because my hair is doing my head in and I want to wrap this up. So it's time for your Ask Me Anything Ashes related. Tomorrow is your last opportunity, so make sure you scan the QR code on the screen. Julius in Weybridge has asked, why are there no injury subs in Test cricket?
There's the
concussion.
Yeah.
Getting bitten by a mosquito.
No, there's a concussion sub, but yeah, no. It's a tough sport, isn't it? You used to be able to get runners. Now we've got rid of that as well. So now if you're injured, it's just the way it goes.
Test cricket is the hardest format to play, and I think it's up to you to make sure your body is right to be able to last as long as you do. That's what Test cricket is all about. You just look at Mitch Stark. He's been able to bowl 140 kilometres an hour in every spell that he's bowled through 5 Test matches, and that's purely because he's worked so hard on making sure he knows he can bowl those overs. But experience and also the fitness and the discipline that he's shown to be able to get through.
It's called Test cricket for a reason. It's a test. There we go. Isha, Glenn, thank you very much. Don't forget the iPlayer highlights are on at 5 p.m. We'll be back for the last Ashes debrief of this series tomorrow, so we'll see you then.